Good morning, children. Let me start you with the class. Last class I have told you about the globalization, how it has affected, how it has been conquering the not only the local markets, national markets, but also we can see international markets also. Now all the products are available to you globally, right? Now whatever the products you purchase, it is available. All the people can purchase the goods and services of any of the countries. It is just a one step apart from you. If you just click in the mobile, you are going to get that country's goods and services, because you are all doing online shopping nowadays. You are doing Amazon shopping, you are doing Flipkart shopping, so you are all involved in yourself in the online shopping. You can compare the prices of the different goods and services. Now everything is transparent. Nothing is now what we can say, we don't know. We can't say that I don't know what is the price of the goods and services in America, what is the price of the goods and services in India. If you just type the price along with the product name, you will get if you just type the product name, you will get the price of that product. So that much what you can say, we are finding near everything. We are having nearest, we have come to the nearest of all those things. The market is not far from us. In olden days, you have to come to that place in order to purchase the goods and services. Nowadays, you need not come. The market comes to your home. How it comes to your home? On the basis of the mobile. Mobile is a tool in which you can see the world's all the goods and services. So multinational corporation, you have seen the meaning of the multinational corporation. What is an MNC now? Can you tell me? So what is a multinational corporation? Which has the MNC set up office and factories. MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. That we are going to call it as a multinational corporation. A MNC is a company that owns or controls productions in more than one nation, one country. That we are going to call it as a multinational corporation. Now how it is interlinking the production process across the countries. Let us see now. In general, MNC set up production where it is close to the market, where there is skilled and unskilled laborers available at low cost. Where they are available at low cost, there the company is going to set up the MNC's production house. In addition, what it checks, whether the government is interested with the MNC company, whether the government is interested to join the hands in the MNC companies. Next one is, what is an investment? The money that is spent to buy the assets such as land, building, machines and other equipments is called the investment. And investment made by MNCs is called what? Foreign investment. If the investment is made by the MNCs, then it is called as the foreign investment. Any investment is made with the hope that these assets will earn what? Profits. Yes, these all investments are made by the company, multinational corporations, in order to have what? In order to have the profits. Then what percentage of profits? 50 to 60% of profits multinational corporations are earning. At times, MNCs set up productions jointly with some of the local companies of these countries. The benefit to the local company of such joint production is twofold. So, because of MNC, our local companies, means our Indian companies, are getting benefits. In what type of benefits they are getting? Two types of benefits they are having. First one is what? MNCs can provide money for additional investments. If they are doing any additional investments, what is happening? MNCs, multinational corporations, are providing them the money, like buying the new machines for faster production. You can see in India, almost they use the outdated machines. The machineries are always 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old machineries only they are using. But what happens when MNC is investing their money in India? That time what happens? They purchase the goods and services, they purchase the new machineries, and they go for the faster productions. Second one, MNCs might bring with them the latest technology for production. What they are going to bring? They are going to bring the latest technology for the production process. So what is the latest technology? For example, now you are going to fix the buttons. In the olden days, what we are doing, we were stitching the buttons to the shirts and all, and to the pants and all, we were stitching the buttons. Now it is not there. There is a machinery to fix the buttons to the shirts. Within the seconds, within the minutes, what happens? 10 to 20 buttons are stitched because of the new machinery. There is now new machinery called crushing machines. Right, whatever you put in that, it is crushed. Within few seconds, it is crushed. It is completely, what you can say, destroyed. It is cut into small pieces. So we can, what it happens, recycling of that product becomes very easy. So like this, there are a lot of latest technologies. Right, now you are seeing in Facebook and all, you are seeing vada making machines are coming, idli making machines are coming. So it is so easy, and you can see to make the duff andre hit kalsudu, that machine is also available nowadays, and big grinders are available. By that, the hotel industry is able to produce more and more what delicious tasty dishes, and the it can get the order delivered within the few minutes. Within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the order is going to get delivered, or sometimes within 5 minutes the order gets delivered, because of the use of the machineries in the hotel industry. Do you understand? But the most common route for MNC investments is to buy up local companies and then to expand productions. So what is MNC doing? It is purchasing the local companies and it is expanding the production process. Right? MNCs with huge wealth can quite easily do so. Yes, MNCs are having very huge wealth. Their property is more. They are having a lot of money, right, compared to our local producers. So for them it is very easy to do so. To take an example, Cargill Foods, a very large American MNC, has brought over smaller Indian companies such as Parag Foods. So what it did, Cargill Foods, it is an American company, it took over, or it has taken the Parag Foods, which was an Indian food company. Let us learn about what is Parag Foods, what are the products it is manufacturing. Parag Foods had built a large marketing network in various parts of India. In various parts of India, Parag Food has a big network. Let us see where its brand was well reputed. So in those days, Parag Foods brand was very well reputed in India. Also, Parag Foods had 4 oil refineries. Means it had the production center of oil, which you are using, oil, edible oil, whose control has now shifted to the Cargill. Now Cargill Foods has taken over what? The Parag Foods. Cargill is now the largest producer of the edible oil. Now Cargill is what producing? It is producing the oil in India with a capacity of 5 million pouches daily. 5 ಲಕ್ಷ, ರೈಟ್, 5 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್, 5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾಟ್ 5 lakhs, 5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಸಾವಿರ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ pouches daily. Per day it is manufacturing how much pouches of oil? 1 liter of oil, how much? 5 million pouches daily it is doing. Because MNC, Cargill Foods is an MNC company, it has the latest technology. By using the technology, you can go for the increase in production. Increase in production gives increase in profits. Increase in profit increases the standard of living of the people. Now let us see, in fact many of the top MNCs have wealth exceeding the entire budgets of the developing country governments. So whatever the budgets they make, 10,000 crores budgets, right? They are making more than that. The MNC companies are having their wealth ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಎಷ್ಟೈತ್ರಿ, ಒಂದು ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಬಜೆಟ್ 10,000 ಕೋಟಿ 50,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಬಜೆಟ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏನೈತ್ರಿ ಅದರ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಐತಿ. ಯಾರ್ದು? ಮಲ್ಟಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ಸ್, right? In which with such enormous wealth, imagine the power and influence of these MNCs. So with this enormous wealth, enormous means very big wealth they are having. When there is a wealth, then automatically what happens? There is increase in the profits, and that is made by whom? By the multinational corporations. There is another way in which the multinational corporations control production. Large MNCs in developed countries place orders for production with small producers. So what they are doing? Large MNCs means big MNCs companies, what they are doing? They are placing the orders for the small producers. Small producers examples are garments, footwear, sports items are examples of industries where production is carried out by a large number of small producers around the world. Here you can see women at home in Ludhiana making footballs for large MNCs. Here you can see footballs are there. They are making the footballs for the large MNCs. They are in home, they are doing it by hand, they are making the football. So sports items, cricket bats you are seeing. Local producers ರೀ, ಇವು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮನ್ಯಾಗ ಕೂತು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ. ಅದು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ತಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒತ್ತಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. For example, watches. In Switzerland, every home manufactures the watches. ವಾಚಸ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೀ, ಮನೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ವಾಚ್ಗಳನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ವಾಚಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಟನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒತ್ತಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದ ವಾಚಸ್. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಾಚಸ್ ಟೈಟನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ರೀ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವರು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒತ್ತಾರೆ. ರಿಬಾಕ್ ಶೂಸ್, ಮನೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಶೂಸ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ಗಳು, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರಿಬಾಕ್ ಶೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಒತ್ತಿ ಮಾರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಚಪ್ಪಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್. ಗಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಹಂಗೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಟೇಲರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಗಾರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಡ್ರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ 500 ಶರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ ಡೇ. Where all that garment factory 30 women they will recruit and they will make them for the stitching of the clothes. shirts galna stitch ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ US ಇಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಚಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪುಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬಟನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್, ಇಸ್ತ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಂದಂಗಿ ಮಡ್ಚಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ MNC ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಪೇ 200 rupees per shirt, and how much they sell it to us? 800 rupees per shirt, 1500 rupees per shirt. So how much income they are earning? They are earning around 500-600 incomes they will be earning. So like that they are doing. Jeans produced in developing countries being sold in USA for rupees 6,500. So jeans which are produced in the developing countries like India and all, in India how much they are selling it? For 1,000, 1,500, like that they are selling. But in America it is sold for how much? 6,500 rupees. The products are supplied to the MNCs which then sell these under their own brand names to the customers. So what happens? These are actually produced by whom? By the small producers of the developing countries. What they will do, these foreign companies, after everything is over, packaging everything is done, they put their brand name and they sell it around the world. These large MNCs have tremendous power to determine price, quality, delivery and labor conditions for these distance producers. So who are going to determine the price? It is the multinational corporations who are determining the prices, because they are producing the very good quality and delivery is good, and labor conditions for the distance producers also, they are seeing that they are in the good condition. So that what happens here, they are able to produce the goods and services to the customers. Thus, we see that there are a variety of ways in which the MNCs are spreading their production and interacting with local produce in various countries across the globe. So, what happens here? They have very good interaction with the local companies. They are spreading their production houses everywhere across the globe. Here, suppose see with ರಾಮ್ ಮುಧೋಳಾಗದನ್ರಿ, ಅವಂದು ಏನೈತಿಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಐತಿ, ಅವನದೊಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಐತಿ, ಶರ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್? ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ per year. He will tell I am earning 2 lakh rupees profit. So what that multinational corporation will tell them? I will give you 4 lakh rupees per year for you. You have to sell your company to us, or you have to make partnership with the multinational corporation. We will give you additional investment, we will give you new technology equipments to you, and you have to produce, you have to increase your production, and you have to sell all your products, goods and services what you have produced to us. Then will that Ram will agree or disagree? He will happily agree. ಮುಧೋಳಾಗ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ನು 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಗಳಿಸಾಕತ್ತಿದ್ನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ 4 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಯಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತನ್ರಿ? ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಟು ದೆಮ್. ಮತ್ತು ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನ್ರಿ? ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಮಲ್ಟಿನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್, ವೇರ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್, his standard of living is also increasing, right? His income is also increasing, and multinational corporations are also earning good profits. Do you understand? By setting up partnership with local companies, by using the local companies for supplies, by closely competing with the local companies or buying them up, MNCs are exerting a strong influence on production at these distant locations. As a result, production in these widely dispersed locations is getting interlinked. Howdo? Yes, it is happening like that, because why? What they are doing here? They are making profits for the local companies, right? They are helping the local companies to increase their income, and they are giving them new technology also. They are giving them new equipments. In order to do extra investments, additional investments, they are helping them in the business also. Then whether the local producers are in profit or in loss, they are in profits. So what they will do? They will join the hands with the multinational corporations, so that what happens? They can also increase their production, they can also increase their income, they can also increase their profits, they can also increase their standard of living, right? So what happens nowadays? It has become what all the local producers are very much happy with the multinational corporations. They don't find any problems by joining hands with the multinational corporation. Even their business gets expanded, right? They get the expansion of the business, there is increase in production. Even our local laborers are also getting the employment opportunities. So the producers, local producers in India are very happy to join the hands with the multinational corporations. Ford Motors, an American company. See, let's work out this. This is very important case study. Just I will explain you so that you will understand much better about the working of the multinational corporations. Ford Motors, an American company, is one of the world's largest automobile manufacturers with production spread over 26 countries of the world. So how much it is spread over? Ford Motors, 26 countries all over the world it is spread. In the year 1995, right? Ford Motors came to India in the year 1995. When did it come to India? It came to India in the 1995 and spent rupees 1,700 crores. How much it had spent? It had spent 1,700 crores to set up a large plant near Chennai. To set up a large plant means to set up a large factory in Chennai. How much it had spent? It had spent 1,700 crores. This was done in collaboration with Mahindra and Mahindra. In collaboration with what? In collaboration with the Mahindra and Mahindra, a major Indian manufacturer of jeeps and trucks. So it is a major manufacturer of what? Jeeps and trucks. By the year 2017, Ford Motors was setting 88,000 cars in Indian market. So by 2017, what happened? After having collaboration, after doing the partnership with Mahindra and Mahindra, Mahindra and Mahindra is an automobile company, right? It is in Chennai. And what it is the main manufacturer of it is a main Indian manufacturer of automobile industry. With that, the MNC company, the Ford Motors MNC company had made the friendship or made the partnership. So both, because with the both collaboration, what happened? They were able to produce how much? 88,000 cars were sold in only in Indian markets, and while another 1,81,000 cars were exported to from India to South Africa, Mexico, Brazil and United States of America. Around 4 to 5 countries they were able to export how much? 1,81,000 cars. See here. So total production 1,81,000 plus 88,000, it will be 916. 2,69,000 cars they had produced in 1995. This became possible because they had collaborated with the Indian producer, major manufacturer, that is the Mahindra and Mahindra. So the company wants to develop now Ford India as a component supplying base for its inputs for its other plants across the globe. So for other plants across the globe which it is having there, in order to supply the goods and services, what it made as the production base? It made the Chennai as the production base with the collaboration of Mahindra and Mahindra manufacturing, Indian manufacturing of the automobile industry. See, like this, because of the collaboration there was increase in production. With the increase in production there will be increase in profits, increase in income and increase in the standard of living of the people of both India as well as the America. Both are earning the profits. Our Indians will get the employment opportunities. Our engineers are getting the employment opportunities. They are also making the profit. Our Indian companies are also making the profit, as well as multinational corporations are also making the profits. Next one, foreign trade and integration of markets. So how does foreign trade takes place and integration of the markets are happening? For a long time, foreign trade has been the main channel connecting the countries. So for a long time, what happened? Foreign trade has been the main channel of connecting the countries. In history, you would have read about the trade routes connecting India and South Asia to markets both in the east and west, and the extensive trade that took place along these routes. So what happened here? What you are going to see, for a long time foreign trade has been the main channel of connecting the countries. But now in history you would have read about the trade routes connecting India and South Asia to markets both in the east and west, and the extensive trade that took place along these routes. So it was possible from the east and the west. There were trade routes available in history also, not now, but in the history also we were doing the trade. In the 8th class, in the 9th class, you have learnt about it. British made India as a colony and it expanded the trade, right? It was what? It was supplying what? The spices, cotton, silk to the European countries, because in Europe what was having? All our Indian spices were in great demand, cotton was in great demand, silk was in great demand. Also, you would remember that it was the trading interest which attracted various trading companies such as the East India Company to India, when then is the basic function of foreign trade. So our foreign trade started before the independence only. It was the East India Company who came to India and it started the trade, that is the buying and selling of the goods and services. Already I have told you, our spices like cardamom, ginger, right, this one pepper, they were all in great demand, where cinnamon were in great demand in the European countries. Our cotton, our silk, our indigo colors, these were all very much what is a demand in the European countries. For that sake, what they were doing, they were forcing the farmers to grow more and more cotton, to grow more and more silk, and send it to where sericulture, to do more and more sericulture, and send the silk, cotton, export the cotton to the European countries, because they were in the great demand and East India Company was earning high profits. It was purchasing those products and services from Indian farmers at a low price, and it was exporting to the European countries at a high price. It was selling in the European countries at a very high prices. To put it simply, foreign trade creates an opportunity for the producers to reach beyond the domestic markets, that is the markets of their own countries. Yes, let us now understand what is domestic market. Domestic market means local market. Mudonlag market irutna venantivi local market. And second one is regional market. Karnatakadag market idra, it is a regional market. Jamkandi irbodu, Bagalkote irbodu, Bangalore irbodu, regional market. National market andra all over the India. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾರಿದ್ರೆ, ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾರಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕವರ್ಸ್ ದ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್. ಸೊ in olden days what was happening, our producers were selling the goods and services only in the domestic markets, means in the national market. Which markets they were covering? Local market, regional market and the national market. ಅಬ್ಬಬ್ಬ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ, ಮುಧೋಳಿಂದ ಜಮಖಂಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಜಮಖಂಡಿಂದ ಭಾಳ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ ದಿಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಅದ್ರ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಭಾರತ ದೇಶ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್, ಯುವರ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲಿ. ಚೈನಾ, ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ, ಸ್ವಿಟ್ಜರ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಕೆನಡಾ, ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ, ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಸೋಲ್ಡ್ ನೌ. ಸೊ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದ domestic markets our products are reaching. Do you understand now? Producers can sell their produce not only in markets located within the country but also compete in markets located in other countries of the world. Similarly, for the buyers, import of goods produced in another country is one way of expanding the choices of goods beyond what is domestically produced. So whatever the domestically you are producing, it has got the great demand in the world. Now you can sell, you can compete in the international market also. Do you understand now? Next one, Chinese toys in India. So how this is going to influence the Indian market? Chinese manufacturers learn of an opportunity to export toys to India, where toys are sold at a high price. They start exporting plastic toys to India. Buyers in India now have the option of choosing between Indian and the Chinese toys. So there are Chinese manufacturers, they got an opportunity to sell, to export the toys to India, where the toys are sold at a high price. What is the price of the toys? The toys are sold very high price. They are exporting plastic toys to India. What they are exporting? They are exporting the plastic toys to India. Buyers in India now have the option of choosing between Indian and Chinese toys. So now Indians are having two options, whether to purchase Indian toys or to purchase the Chinese toys. Because of the cheaper prices and new designs, Chinese toys become more popular in the Indian market. So in the Indian market, you can see Chinese toys have become more popular. Not only Chinese toys, one kasbari tugori, one mara tugori, one dadra one sanna saman tugori, ella made in China, made in China, made in China. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟ್ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್. ಒಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಲೈಟ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ತೊಗೋರಿ. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ದೀಪಾವಳಿ ಬಂತು, ದೀಪಾವಳಿಗೆ ಲೈಟ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಆಕಾಶ ಬುಟ್ಟಿ ತಂದ್ರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಚೈನಾ. ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಚೈನಾ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ದೀಪಾಸ್ ಪಣತಿಗಳು ಅವ್ನು ಯಾರೋ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ತಾರಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಚೈನಾ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಾಯ್ಕಾಟ್ ದ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್, right? So what happens, because of their prices are low, the quality is not good, but the prices are very low. Because of the cheaper prices, people are interested to buy the Chinese goods and services. Within a year, 70 to 80% of the toy shops have replaced Indian toys with the Chinese toys. See, because the price is low, people are purchasing more and more. What did the Indian shops do? 70 to 80% of the Indian toys were replaced by what? Chinese toys. Now it is again back. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕತ್ತೀರಿ. ಈಗೇನಾಗೈತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಟಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಟಾಯ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ರಿಮೇಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಶಾಪ್ಸ್. ವೆನ್ ಎವರ್ ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್, ವೆನ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, check it whether it is made in India or made in China. If it is made in China, don't purchase it. Don't purchase those Chinese goods and services. The quality is not at all good. Only the what you can say prices are less, but the quality is not at all good. ತೊಗೊಂಬರ್ತೀರಿ ಸಾಮಾನು 2 ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಮುರಿದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಹಾಳಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲರಿ. ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಒಟ್ಟು ಚಲೋ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಐತಂತ ಯಾರೂ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಚೈನಾ ಐತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಬಗ್ಗಿರಿ, ಅಂಗಡಿಯವ್ಗೆ ಬೈರಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ is not at all good. Toys are now cheaper in the Indian markets than earlier. What is happening here? As a result of trade, Chinese toys came into the Indian markets. In the competition between Indian and Chinese toys prove better. Indian buyers have a greater choice of toys at lower prices. So what happened now? Indians were forced to sell their toys at lower prices because people were purchasing the Chinese toys. For these Chinese toy makers, this provides an opportunity to expand business. The opposite is true for Indian toy makers. They face losses as their toys are selling much less. So almost all our Indians toy factory got closed because they were unable to sell their products at the lower prices. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ರಿ, ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಸಾಮಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಚೀಪ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ರಾಗ ಏನು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಜನ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕತ್ರು. ಇವ್ರು ಪಾಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಚಲೋ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಯಾರೂ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಾರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಏನಾತ್ರಿ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್ ದೇರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಟಾಯ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್ because of this Chinese intervention. So children, I request you, whenever you are purchasing any item, please see it. If it is made in China, boycott all the Chinese goods and services, because they are the threat to our economy. ಅವರಿಂದ ಕರೋನಾ ಬಂದ್ರಿ, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾರ್ಡ್ರನ್ನ ನಿಂತು ಎಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಓಡಾಡಿದರು, ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಭೂಮಿ ಕಪ್ಪಳಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಓಡಾಡಿದರು. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, dirty things they are doing. They are encouraging the terrorism. They are giving support to Pakistan, and indirectly they want to destroy the economy of India, not only economy of India but economy of the world. So they have left this disease called corona. So all these things are happening because of the China. So don't purchase any Chinese item, Chinese toys or anything, because this China is not only threat to India, it is threat to the whole world itself. In general, with the opening of trade, goods travel from one market to another. So what is happening here? Goods are traveling from one market to the another. Choice of goods in the market rises. So choice of goods, what is happening in the markets? It is rising. Prices of similar goods in two markets tend to become equal. So what is happening now? Similar goods. So you take the coffee. Continental coffee is also for 2 rupees. Brew coffee is also for 2 rupees. So similar goods, both are coffee only. Prices are same, but the brands are different. Company is different. Now it is left to the consumer that whether he wants to drink the continental coffee or he wants to drink the brew coffee. And producers in the two countries now closely compete against each other, even though they are separated by thousands of miles. Here You can see brew coffee and this continental coffee, Nescafe, all these things, they are competing with each other, but they are thousands of miles different. They are from the different regions, they are from the different countries, they are from the different parts of the India also. Some are local companies, some are international companies. For example, Nescafe, it is an international brand, right? Continental coffee, it is an Indian brand. So you are seeing both are equally competing in the market. Foreign trade thus results in connecting the markets or integration of markets in different countries. Here you can see this is the integration of the market of different kinds of market. It is the connecting markets, right? It is making the integration. Integration means yadu kudkolikatari markets of the different countries. Here you can see small traders of ready-made garments facing stiff competition from both the MNC brands and imports. You can see the person who is selling all his dresses, all his items on the road, he is going to have the tough competition. He is going to face the tough competition from the MNC brands and the imports, right? So this is happening. The small traders, the small producers are going to face the competition because their goods are of not that much quality and prices they can't make it more low. What happens? These traders are going to face problems. They are making profits in order to lead their life, but MNCs are making profits 50 to 60% of profits they are making to expand their business. Here you can see the small traders are making profits in order to have 3 times meal a day. 3 ಹೊತ್ತು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ 50% ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಟಿಗೆ 60% ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ತನ್ನ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ಸ್. Now let us see here what is globalization. In the past 2 or 3 decades, more and more MNCs have been looking for locations around the world which would be cheap for their production. Foreign investment by the MNCs in these countries has been rising. At the same time, foreign trade between countries has been rising rapidly. So foreign trade enagatadri, foreign investment, because of foreign investment what we are seeing that MNCs in our countries has been rising rapidly. A large part of the foreign trade is also controlled by the MNC. So foreign trade, foreign buying and selling of goods and services, it is controlled by whom? By the multinational corporations. For instance, the car manufacturing plant of Ford Motors in India not only produces cars for Indian markets, it also exports cars to other developing countries and exports car components for its many favorite factories around the world. So here in India, the Ford manufacturing companies, it is not only producing the cars in India, but it is also producing the components, spare parts, whichever is needed to make the Ford car to the other countries across the globe, right? It is doing it. Likewise, activities of most MNCs involve substantial trade in goods and also services. Now what has happened? Because of the globalization, we are not only buying and selling of goods and services is taking place, but what is happening? We are actually involved in the substantial trade in goods. Not only in the buying and selling of goods is happening, but also services. We are providing services across the world. Services in the form of customer care. We are giving customer care services to all the companies of the world. So here you can see the picture. Globalization is fun. Be careful, that's our world you are playing with. Someday you will have to pay the price. So globalization, even though it is fun, you all are income is increasing, right? Your incomes are increasing, your profit is increasing, your standard of living is increasing. Someday you might have to pay the price. So whatever you have to do, you have to do with the careful things. You have to be very careful when you are doing business with the multinational corporations, because making profit is the fun, enjoying the profit is the fun. So how the Chinese toys did to us, Chinese items did to us, what it did, it captured the whole Indian market. It made our Indian producers close down their factories, because they brought their goods and services at very much cheaper rates, cheaper prices. Even though the quality of the goods and services was not good, people purchased the goods and services, right? But the best example is the Chinese toys. So these things should not happen. You should be careful when you are going to do the partnership with the foreign countries. You should not allow like China, Pakistan to trade in the India, because these are the countries which create the threat to our countries. So only Narendra Modi has said that boycott the Chinese products. Now we have boycotted the Chinese apps, we have boycotted the Chinese products, everything, Chinese goods and services we are not allowing. Even our Indian shop owners, the traders have decided that we will not sell the Chinese goods and services in India, as it is creating the threat to our economy, as it is creating the threat to our country, our Indian defense, the borders, right? It is of thinking, it is of controlling our India. It tried to control our India. So because of all of these things, we have to be careful when we are doing partnership with the multinational corporations. Globalization might sometimes close down our Indian factories also, and we will be largely dependent on the foreign goods and services. So every time it will become, we need to import the goods and services rather than exporting the goods and services. It may become threat to our economy, right? Okay children, read all these things. If you get any doubts, if you have any doubts, come to school and clear the doubts. Okay, thank you.